Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, October 4th. So the moon is going to be in Virgo all day. We are down to earth. We're trying to stay in the present moment. We're trying to reorganize, re-strategize, restructure our thoughts, our emotions, and then our actions. We have 10 different aspects taking place today. 10 of them involve the moon. As you know, the moon rules over Mondays, and you best believe this is going to be a moody Moon Monday. We are entering into the new moon window of energy, and as you know, as we approach the new moon, things get dark. There's no light in the sky. We're left to sit in the darkness of our desires, of our thoughts, of our emotions, to figure out what it is that isn't working, what it is we don't want to think or feel anymore. And of course, from that, we create a framework on the new intentions that we're going to set under the new moon in Libra. This is a great reminder to go ahead and download your moon guide. The moon guide is created in order for you to do the shadow work necessary in order to illuminate those darker parts of yourself, to turn that pain into a source of power. Will help you align to the energy of the moon and really help you in your spiritual healing journey. So the moon gets very, very off started in the morning. I know I'm all over the place. Mercury retrograde. Let's thank you for that. But the moon and the sun come together here today. Now the moon is our emotions, our subconscious, our intuition. The sun in Libra, of course, wants us to fight for balance, wants us to pour our life force energy, our will into finding peace, harmony, love in our lives. And the moon right now in Virgo is kind of sorting through where it is that none of those things are existing in our life right now, especially not in our individual lives, definitely not on the global grander stage of the collective. And this is a huge contrast of where it is that some gaps need to be filled, that some things need to be removed in order to create a space for the new things to actually be able to manifest. The moon goes ahead and makes a very challenging aspect to Mars, who is also in Libra. Again, the sun and Mars traveling together in the cosmos right now, bringing together our life force energy from the sun, our warrior-like energy from Mars. And right now, we are strategizing our play-by-play plan on how it is that we are going to stand forth, fight for justice, fight for fairness as we stand on this battlefield. Again, I'm going to remind you to check out your ascension symptom forecast for the week. I go into great depths about the spiritual war that we're currently in and what it is that is being asked of us as we move through the energy of this week. The moon in Virgo goes ahead and makes a beautiful aspect with Saturn, the Lord of Karma. This is really going to help us rearrange our thoughts, rearrange our emotions to get a grip over them, to get control over them. We are ready to boss up. We have taken the time to reflect back on our past through the painful life lessons that we had to go through. We've plucked out the silver linings. We've plucked out the pain. We are now alchemizing it. We are magically turning it into a motivational power for us to push forward with. The moon in Virgo trines Uranus. This is beautiful. Uranus is the great awakener, shocks us with a new idea, shocks us with a shift in perspective. We know things under Uranian energy that we can't unknow. It sets us up to rebel against the old ways of doing things. It sets us up for independence from where it is that we've gotten too intertwined with the old parts of ourselves, the old identity, the old attachments. This Uranian energy is going to wake us up to a brand new level. And because the moon in Virgo is ruled over by Mercury, this is the mental plane. Uranian energy is the higher octave of the intellect, bringing in information and light codes from the universe, from divine intelligence. And Mercury is the lower level intellect that rules over our identity, our ego here in this physical realm. There is some kind of epiphany, some kind of aha moment that is going to shake us up, wake us up, see things from a totally different set of eyes. This is going to be a beautiful energy to restructure, reorganize our path, our plans moving forward. The moon in Virgo makes a beautiful aspect with Venus. This is likely going to illuminate for us a lot of the things that we've been exploring in our personal emotions, our personal relationships, our personal desires. Of course, Venus has been in Scorpio doing a deep dive into the shadow parts of ourselves, into our past, into our pain, into our trauma, recognizing where it is that we have a passion, we have a desire to truly unify with a soul connection, to blend our energies with those that we love around us. And of course, that leaves us very open and very vulnerable. Now, the moon in Virgo, taking a very practical approach to our mindset, to our thoughts, to our emotions, is now able to see where Venus has illuminated a lot of these not so nice thoughts and feelings for us in order for us to take that and re-strategize those elements into something that will work for us. This is leveling up our worth, leveling up our value, our confidence, our self-esteem within ourselves, knowing what we want, knowing what we desire, knowing what we deserve, and now preparing to go ahead and actually do something to actually get what it is that we want, not only in our personal relationships, but out of what it is that we want for ourselves. The change has to happen within us. We've recognized, while Venus has been in Scorpio, that we have all of these wounds, all of these voids in us that we subconsciously have been looking outside of us in partners, in friendships to fill. And we can't even put into words what it is that we're even trying to heal. We're recognizing at this particular point that we have to heal these wounds and fill these voids ourselves. We can't be looking outside of ourselves for any kind of healing. That's an inside job. Again, a reason why we're calling forth this week our inner G, our inner gangster, in order to boss up and be the spiritual warriors that we are, that we've always been destined to be. It's time to boss up and to absolutely go after what it is that our heart is calling us to do. The moon in Virgo is going to go ahead and sit across from, oppose Neptune, who is retrograde in Pisces. So Virgo and Pisces energy sits across from one another in the zodiac wheel. Basically, this axis is about spiritual and mental health, boundaries and boundless, details and nothingness. This Virgo energy wants to zoom in on the details, the fine print, really kind of reorganize and restructure with very tight boundaries on how it is that we're going to proceed in order to keep our mental health in check. Neptune retrograde in Pisces just wants us to let our guard down, wants us to go with the flow, wants us to surrender to the energies, to the situations. This is a very healing energy, healing axis, but it's going to put our heart and our head against each other. It's going to put our reality and our dreams against each other. It's going to put our intuition and our practicality, our logic against each other, and really polarize where it is that we need to meet in the middle. We can bring our logical, practical mind space, our intellect, into a forum where we can meet our imagination, our intuition halfway. There can be a blending of energies so that we are not totally stuck in this physical realm, dependent on our egoic intellect, and where we're not off in la la land, concocting some kind of dream and vision that will never be able to manifest in our reality. This is literally the crossroads where we meet ourselves in the middle, where we see a balancing act take place between the two polarities within us, and where it is that we stand in the middle as a grounding point to say, hey, I'm going to start manifesting, start taking action in my physical realm to bring in some of these dreamy elements that I know my intuition wants, I know my heart and soul want. I'm not going to put up a wall and say that what could be could never be in this moment. I am going to lower the walls that I've built around my heart space in my head just a tad in order to let imagination and wonderment actually become part of this divine recipe. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Mercury. And as we know, Mercury is retrograde in Libra. Both Mercury and Virgo ruled over by Mercury. This is a little bit of a kerfuffle between our heart and our head. Because we're riding off the coattails of this, aspect that I just talked about, the moon sitting across from Neptune, the Virgo versus Pisces energy. This is a blending between our heart and our head. This is a balancing act between our thoughts and our feelings. This is an attempt, because we're in Libra season, because Mercury is in Libra, although retrograde, this is an attempt to take what it is that we just had an aha moment about and integrate it into our daily lives, into meeting ourselves halfway, emotionally and mentally. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Saturn. Saturn, of course, the Lord of Karma, trying to show us where it is that we had to go through these tough love life lessons in the past to prepare us for this exact moment to step into the power of who it is that we are and who it is that we're trying to be. This is really going to help us restructure our thoughts and our feelings into something more supportive. We have to kick negative Nancy and Betty the bully out of our realms. It's a hard thing to do, especially with the moon in Virgo. We're worrisome Wendy when the moon is in Virgo. We're nervous Nelly when the moon is in Virgo. We're sitting in all the, oh my goodness, what if? What if, what if, what if? And Saturn's like, you know what? What if it doesn't happen? How are you going to feel then? This is a time to recognize that we are stepping into a very powerful position to take our power back, to fight back, to do what is right, to build new foundations in our relationships, in the way that we carry ourselves, in our thoughts, in our feelings. There's a total transformation going on. And right now, we are bridging the gap between the two extreme thoughts, two extreme feelings, two extreme, very polarized parts within us. This inner conflict has to end. We have to get on the same page. We have to unify within ourselves and stand in our power of wholeness before we go ahead and start taking action in our physical realm. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of growth, of expansion. Normally, he wants to hype us up and show us where it is that we have to renew ourselves, our belief system, our confidence, our hopes, our dreams. The moon in Virgo, though, very practical, very in the moment of what is in this earthly realm, is having a hard time seeing past this present moment. Jupiter wants to show us the possibilities of the future. The moon in Virgo isn't really willing to look at that right now. The only part of that the moon in Virgo is willing to look at is the big picture to say, okay, well, if that's where I need to be, then I have to break it down into smaller steps, manageable steps that I can actually handle in the here and now in order to align myself to that greater, grander vision. The moon is going to go ahead for its last trick of the day and trine Pluto. This is a huge transformation going on, people. I can't emphasize this enough. What is going on in our inner realms right now is fascinating. Our heart and our head are purging and cleansing the old negative vibrations, memories, and frequencies in order to open up to new cycles, new timelines, new soul contracts. That's what October is all about. We are in the month of number 1, and you best believe that brand new cycles are about to begin. The moon in Virgo, trining with Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn, preparing to go direct. This is like a last little check-in, a little bit of a revision, revisiting all the inner workings of our mind, all the inner workings of our heart space. We have recognized throughout the last couple of days what it is that we need to purge, what it is we need to restructure and reorganize, especially in our mental plane, in order for us to rise to the occasion, to stand up, to fight for what is right, to take our power back. The moon in Virgo, trining with Pluto right now, is a celebratory energy. We feel good about our strategy moving forward. We feel good about the growth that we've just gone through. We feel good about the amount of power that we have reclaimed over our heart and over our head. Now we are preparing to move into the dark phase of the moon, where we are going to rest, we are going to recuperate, we are going to regenerate, we are going to recharge ourselves so that when we come out on the other side of the new moon and the light again begins to illuminate the night sky, we're going to have a brand new clarity, a brand new vision, a brand new energy to actually work with. And you best believe that we are tapping into Pluto going direct, and we are ready to take action in our physical realms to start rearranging what needs to happen in our earthly realms based off of what has already happened in our inner realms.